this is a really special interview that you're getting ready to watch. Paula Garcia was an athlete that I worked with here at Wichita State for 6 years, and then she graduated, moved back home to Spain, and then recently was named to her country's Olympic team, and it's a huge accomplishment. As you're going to hear in the interview, she has gone through some tremendous ups and downs throughout her career, and that's the way her career here at Wichita State was. There were some ups and downs and a lot of injuries, but she's hung in there, and so it's incredibly exciting for me to see her success recently, and for people here at Wichita State. So this is a fun interview. We talk a lot about her running career, so that's certainly a focus of the interview. But also we talk about travel. So those of you that are here for the travel stuff, she talks about some of her favorite places that she's ever been in the world. She's a world traveler for someone so young, and then even here in the United States, because she did a lot of traveling here when she was going to college. And then if you go to Spain, she tells you some places that are great to visit in Spain. So I hope you really enjoy this conversation with Paula Garcia. So congratulations on making the Olympics. I mean, what an incredible accomplishment. But it wasn't an easy path. I think a lot of people might think that, wow, somebody made the Olympics. What a story, great story that must have been. But you obviously had, even this year, a tough year before that happened. So tell us the abridged version of 2024 and where you started and how you ended up making the Olympic team.
Yeah, honestly, I've had a lot of injuries throughout my whole athletic career, but this year just topped it. I hurt my foot the week before nationals last July, and for some reason they couldn't really figure out what was wrong with it. It was just inflammation or stuff like that, but it wouldn't really get better. So I ended up getting a cortisone shot on my in my foot at the beginning of October, and then I was slowly getting back into it. It really worked. It healed it. But then a week after I started running on the track, I hurt my knee. I got a tendonitis, and some the fat inside of my knee got inflamed too, and it wasn't looking pretty good. So I also got 3 collagen shots, and I also had to stop. I stopped practicing. I was in the pool a lot, or on the Outtro G, and yeah, my first day wearing spikes was in I think it was December 15th or something like that. And but yeah, I slowly got back, and I'm still kind of recovering from my knee issue, but it's just way better. I just had my quad was my left quad was not really strong, the inside part of it, so it was not balanced at all. So that's why I got hurt. And then yeah, I did a good indoor season. I got 4th, and I still PR'd in the 60. I don't even know how I did it, but still was super grateful for it. And then during my first track meet, my opening competition for outdoor, I got hurt during the 200. I hurt my hamstring. I kind of I don't know if I pulled it or something. But yeah. So, and then that was the day after I got chosen to go to the World Championships in the Bahamas to try to qualify our 4x1 team for the Olympics. So yeah, that was super frustrating, and I still got to go. We went to the pen relays the week before, and it was super fun. I honestly, I felt like I was at home, just because it was, the pen relays is a really good track meet, but honestly, the track meets around the U.S. are kind of similar. And yeah, I was just feeling so comfortable, and I saw some athletes that I saw during my time at Wichita State, because Houston was there. So, and I recognized a few athletes and stuff, and it was a really fun track meet. And then yeah, we went to the Bahamas, and I didn't get to run. I honestly was just recovering from my hamstring injury. but it was just an amazing experience to just, I got to watch all of these amazing athletes, and we didn't end up qualifying the 4x1 there. We were pretty unlucky because, the way you would qualify for the Olympics, it was just like, I think it was top 2 on each heat. There were like no times. And if you wouldn't qualify the first time, you had another chance the next day. So we got 4th the first day in our heat, but our time would have won the rest of the other heats. So, and then the same thing happened on the second day. So we didn't qualify for the Olympics on that day, but there were still 2 spots left, depending on the time in the world ranking. So we ended up making it because we were in a really good time in Bahamas, and then
How many teams are qualified in the Olympics?
just 16. It was 14 through Bahamas, and then 2 through the world rankings.
By the way, I ran at the Penn Relays before you were born. So we've run at this just a long time before that. So I was there. I ran there in 96, 97, 98.
That's crazy. I was born in 98.
Okay. We won't talk about that anymore. Okay. So now, team qualifies as a country. So the country qualified team doesn't necessarily mean the athletes on that qualified, but the country qualifies. And then, so go on from there.
Yeah. So yeah, it was Bahamas, and then we got back, and then I was just recovering still from my hamstring injury. It was really weird. It took longer than just a regular like hamstring injury, like just pulling your hamstring, because I had an issue with my sciatic nerve. I pulled my hamstring because my muscle was protecting the nerve. So then it was all pinched, and so it just took a little bit longer, and especially like the mental aspect of it, since I heard it while I was running, and I was running a 200 like during the last 50 meters, which you're not going like super fast compared to the first part of the race. So I don't know if it was just fatigue or something, like muscle fatigue, but mentally it was pretty hard for me to just push with the same like strength and like being as explosive. It was just pretty hard. So like my first meet back, I ran at like, without even realizing it, at like 80%. I ran in 11:73, which considering the time is like not bad because I was running at like 80%. But it was, I don't know, it was just hard for me to gain the confidence back. But after that meet, for some reason, I earned the confidence. I gained more confidence for some reason, and I was just pushing and running really fast. So a week later, that's when I PR'd in 100. I ran in 11:42, and in 11:34, wind dated with 2.6. And then from there, I was just able to have a full month of consistent practice. I was able to be consistent and have some consistency. So that's how, I don't know, for some reason I knew if I can practice for like a month, I know that I can just get really fast. And that's what happened, because nationals last week hit the month mark of like my first meet outdoors. So yeah.
And then obviously at the national, you ran, is it 3 races?
On the same day.
And it all came together and kind of come from behind victory in the final. It looked like the announcers, I don't speak any Spanish, but it's funny seeing the video because they thought that maybe the one girl was going to win because she was ahead. And then at the end, it's like, oh, Paula.
For some reason, my start, it's really good. It's gotten really good. But the girl next to me, her start's really good. We're like 2 different, like complete different athletes. Our way of running the 100, it's completely the opposite. Like my strength is the last meters of the race, and her strength is the first meters of the race. So since we were like side by side, you could really tell a difference. At the beginning, you can see how she's like super far away from me. But from the inside of the race, I didn't feel like she was that far away. Because I didn't get like nervous or anything. For some reason, I knew that I had it. I just needed to be patient, and yeah, and for some reason this year, I don't know if it's been like the pool workouts or what, but like, yeah, the finish of my race, it's just so good. And I'm kind of sad that I don't get to run more 200s because I've only been able to run 2 days, two 200s. Well, one day I ran two 200s in one day, but the wind was really bad. It was all headwind. And then another day I ran another 200 in APR. I ran 23:35. But the headwind on the curve, it was so strong. Like I didn't get out like at my top speed because I knew I was just gonna like die at the end. But then I finished so strong and I didn't even get tired. So I was like, man. So yeah, I feel like I know that I can run a really good 200, but I feel like, now it's not time for me to focus on the individual aspect of track, but just to like focus on the 4x1, start practicing again to be in good shape in Paris, and yeah, just hopefully they choose me to run because
Hey, for those watching that aren't track and field, experts or knowledgeable, it's confusing, obviously, to how do people make the relay. You'd think, well, you won the 100, you're in the Olympics on the 100, but there's a qualifying standard that you have to meet or a world ranking. So you didn't meet those, but you certainly in Spain are one of the top sprinters, so you got chosen to be on the relay. Any insights as to how that relay will be put together? And there's 6 girls, correct?
Yeah.
And obviously 4 of the 6 will run. There's 2 rounds, there's a prelim and a final.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 6 of us. In the beginning, it was gonna be 5 of us, but since one of our teammates qualified in the 200, they are letting us bring another girl in the 4x1 just in case, But yeah, I'm honestly not really sure how they will do it. I know there's these 4 girls that they did really good in the at the World Championships in Oregon, and they got 5th. So they kind of being like using that combination of runners. But I don't know, since they've told me that they were really impressed with my runs at the national championship, and yeah, I'm like number 3rd in the national ranking. I don't know how that will play out for me, so, but that's something that we won't know until like the day of the competition or the day before. We have a concentration camp, a training camp, and we have a training camp on July 15th, that week of July, and we will practice there. They'll see how we're doing, like our exchanges and like our speed, I guess, and I think they might choose the 4 runners over there, but yeah, we won't know until like the 7th or the 8th. That's when the 8th is the 4x1.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. Obviously, we're hoping that you get chose. So, how many can you estimate how many messages you received after the race?
I received a lot of them, and I didn't have enough time to like reply to all of them before they announced the team that's going to the Olympics. So now they all got all like mixed, and like now I have even more. And yeah, I've seen all of them. It's just hard for me to reply to them. I'm not a really good texter or anything. So I'm just like, oh, thank you. And then it's just like, oh my God, I have to respond to all of these people, which I'm like really thankful that, they reached out to me and everything. And I love it. But, it takes time. And then all of these like posts and announcements and everything. And I feel like I've just been on my phone 24/7. And it even like I go to bed late because of that. And I'm having like trouble sleeping, and usually I sleep like over 8.5 hours, and now I'm like on like 7 hours of sleep. And yeah, this weekend I barely slept. I only slept like 3 hours after I won on Friday, and then just yeah. So I'm like pretty tired, and I need to like get back on on track.
Well,
Nothing happened.
I don't think anybody would be upset if you turn your phone off for a day or two and respond later. You'll have plenty of time to catch up.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
just feel bad.
I think people understand for sure.
Yeah.
So kind of real quick, running through your career. So how old were you when you started running, and how did you, obviously you have a Wichita State Shocker shirt on, so that's
Yeah.
awesome. So how old were you when you started running, and what made you want to come to the United States for college?
I started running when I was 13, I believe. I was in eighth grade, and yeah, well, actually, yeah, I started in eighth grade, but I started in like April or May, at the end of the school year. So then I kind of just like, I only did track for like a month or so or two. And then, it ended. So because of the summer. And so then the next year, I didn't like join again. I started doing track for some reason. I don't know. I think it's because I switched schools and it was just harder. And, my mom said, you have to study more, blah, blah, But then two friends of mine that were actually my neighbors at the time, they told me, hey, we're going to go to this club to just to try, because the first month is free or whatever, and they asked me if I wanted to come, and then now the rest is history. Basically, I stayed and I really liked it, and yeah, I that's when I met like my coach, which he's my actual coach still. We've been together for, I don't know, 12, 13 years. Yeah, he started coaching me at the age of 28 or something, and I'm turning 26 this year. So that was just like weird, I'm like, you were coaching me like, and now I'm that age. I don't know. It just felt weird. but, but yeah. And then I wanted to go to the US because it was a really good opportunity, and I was gonna improve my English, and, like getting your degree in the United States, it's like very valuable here in Spain. So it was just all like good things that could come from from going to the US. So yeah, and it what happened that year that I decided to go to the US is that I got really good. I improved a lot. Like I was the national champion in the U18 category. And yeah, so that's when I was like, okay, maybe I have the chance to get some type of scholarship or whatever, So yeah, but it was actually my mom's idea.
Thank
Yeah.
thank goodness for mom. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy because your Wichita State career kind of was like your year of 2024, where you had so many injuries, but then you had moments of tremendous success. You graduated here as one of the best sprinters in school history. You were on championship teams, but there was so much up and down, during that time. What do you remember most about being in the United States and, running track at Wichita State?
The team aspect. When I went to the United States, that's when I really learned that track can also be a team sport. Because here in Europe, it's just, it's just you. Well, not with the 4x1, that's a team, but basically it's just you. But in the United States, it's completely the opposite, since it's like super focused on conference. And I loved it because I never really like felt alone, and I felt super, I felt a lot of support from every single teammate, especially with the relays, with the 4x4. That was crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I love that part of like the team aspect of it, and just being supported by like every single person.
So going to Paris, have you been to Paris? I'm guessing you've been to Paris before.
Yeah, I've been, but honestly, I've been more to Disneyland in Paris. I've been there twice, but like literally I've spent one day in Paris and then the other like 2, 3, in Disneyland. So, well, I went to the Diamond League in Paris last year too, but I didn't really get to see anything. We were just focused on the race. So yeah.
Yeah. Will you be able to do or anything, or will you pretty much be focused on the competition?
Well, I think that we will be able to go and see some stuff. I know that we're getting there 4 to 3 days prior the 4x1. So I guess we'll be going there on August, I don't know, 3rd or something, or 4th, something like that. And then we will leave after the medals of our event are like handed to the athletes. Even if we don't make it to the final or anything, we wait after our event is fully done. So I think we will be there for maybe like 6 days. So I'm hoping we can at least see something, but Paris is like right next door. So I'm more looking forward to experiencing, like the Olympic setting, the rooms, like everything,
Well, you can always go back and see the Eiffel Tower, but you won't always be able to experience what it's like to be an Olympian. So I would say soak up everything you can about that part of the experience, and you just never know if that'll happen again. Hopefully it does happen again, but you just never know. So what after this year, obviously their focus is this year and getting to the Olympics and all that kind of stuff, but what about after this year?
Well, I still have a lot of goals that I would like to like attain. Like one of them is running under 23 seconds, the 200, and I know I'm like really capable of doing it, but this year I really focused on the 60 and the 100 because of the 4x1, but also I didn't run in any 200 indoors because of my foot and the tight curves. So yeah, I still have a lot of things that I want to accomplish. I want to go to a European Championship, which I also missed this year because of my hamstring injury. The European Championship was at the beginning of June. Yeah, and I've competed. I went to international meets with the 4x1, and I would love to go in an individual event. And I think I can eventually do it, at least at the European level. And yeah, I still have a lot of goals, and still my body can handle it, so I'm just gonna take advantage of that.
Well, I think most people don't realize, but great sprinters, their best years are still ahead of where you're at. I mean, you're going to keep, if you stay healthy. We've talked since years ago about running 22 seconds, so I know that that's possible. Just got to stay healthy and put it together. So I'm confident that's going to happen. So a lot of people watch this channel because of traveling, and you have a unique experience of traveling to a lot of places that I've never been. A few questions, and this will be our last kind of part of the interview. 3 questions. 1, where are the most favorite places you've ever traveled in the world? 2, where is the most favorite place in the United States that you've ever traveled? And the last one is, if someone was to go to Spain, where would you, think they should travel?
Okay. Well, the first question, Tokyo. I went there when I want to go again because I went there when I was 13 years old or so. And so I don't remember a lot of it. I remember a lot of stuff from like videos and pictures and well, I do remember the jet lag. I had a really rough time because of the jet lag. But yeah, I loved it. I love that culture, and I want to go again. Like I really want to go. I don't like to go to places that I've been to already. Not because I didn't like them, just because there's so much to see. And life is short, so, and money is too. So I really have to like choose where I go. But I know I'm gonna go back there again. I don't care that I've been there already. I want to go back there again. And then the place in the U.S., I loved Washington, the state of Washington. I went to Seattle in the I think it was called the this park. I don't remember the name, like the something maybe Olympic or the something like in Port Angel, somewhere over there. And we went there and we hiked, and it was just gorgeous. Honestly, I loved it. I love nature, and I've been to a lot of states in the US, considering I was only there for 6 years, but that one is definitely my favorite. And then if you come to Spain, well, you obviously have to come to Madrid since it's the best place, you know? And
That's where you're
yeah,
from, Madrid.
yeah, that's where I'm from. So, but yeah, I don't know. Madrid's really good. If you want to go to the beach, then Valencia or Barcelona. And also the north of Spain, it's beautiful. It's kind of similar to Washington, like similar, like super green and a lot of nature. The down part is that, it rains a lot. That's because it's really green. But during the summer, it's really nice because it's not like super hot. The temperatures are really nice and it's really pretty. And yeah, well, the food in Spain is just amazing, like everywhere you go. So, yeah.
Awesome. Good tips. All right. Well, thanks so much. I think probably the best place if people want to follow your journey is Instagram. Is that correct? You post a lot on Instagram. We'll put your
the handle.
Yeah. And that's a great place to follow. It helps if you know Spanish, but even if you don't know Spanish like me.
Yeah, well, you can hit the see translation button.
There you go. There you go. So that's good. You're the officially now the 12th Wichita State track and field athlete to make it to the Olympics. So that's a very exclusive group, and obviously we're all very proud of you. That you're going to run in this time zone here in Wichita. It's August 8th at 3 a.m. is the preliminary. So we're going to have to stay up late or get up for that. And the finals are the next day at 3 p.m. here. So obviously, you're in different time zones over there. So kind of a morning preliminary, then the evening final the next day.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it's so awesome and just a lesson for so many people to hang in there, because that's what you've done, is hung in there. And for many athletes, the ultimate is to make it to the Olympics. And I know that that's not your ending goal. It's not the end of your career, but what an achievement. And especially speaking for people from Wichita and that have known you for a long time, we're just super proud of you and excited to continue watching you in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. These are new videos on Tuesday. We're calling them off the grid because they're a little bit off the grid from the normal Thursday and Sunday videos. So on Tuesday, there'll always be something a little bit different, a little bit random. You'll never know. Maybe an interview, maybe some sort of related travel video, but certainly different from Thursday and Sunday. So thank you for watching here on Tuesday. Some new things on the website. We have offered memberships now, and we've had a lot of people sign up to become executive producers, and supporters, different levels, different tiers to support the channel. And with each tier, there are more and more perks. So thank you for those who have become members, and hopefully we'll see more of you in the behind the scenes section of our membership. Also on my website, I have lots of new stuff. I have new merchandise available, some Ghost Town shirts, some Death Go Round shirts. They're very popular right now. The newsletter I send out about every 3 weeks. It's totally free, so sign up for my newsletter. And I have a new section on there of Google Map, where I have dropped a pin in every place that I've done a video about. And if you click on that link, you can find the videos about those areas. So that one is new to the website, and hope you guys like that one. Once again, thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you either now on Tuesday, Thursday, or Sunday.